You know who made it.
And we are live from LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Instagram. It's Revening's Wednesday. Welcome to Wednesday, Revenue Party people. We have our hot topics, hot prizes, and hot guests. We're going to get into it. Jeremy, thank you for being here. I'm glad you like the music. This whole show is about you. So keep us honest from the comments. Please participate. Enter to win these fabulous prizes that I'm about to show you here in just a minute. And you can comment to win throughout the show. So I'll introduce you to our amazing guests here in just a moment. But you can tag High Level for a High Level swag pack. You can tag Cherry Assistant for 10 hours of free virtual assistant service. You can tag Headset for a free wireless headset from Headset Advisor, a professional headset company that all sales teams should be using if they're not, but many sales teams do use. Hashtag email for a year free of Lavender Pro. Hashtag branding for 1 month free of my program. And hashtag revenue for our guest prizes that you will hear about from our guest tonight. But let me just go ahead and show you. So prize 6 with hashtag revenue, you're going to be getting 1 hour consultation session on influencer or mobile marketing strategy. So, of course, you have to be live to win. We'll be doing the drawing at the end of the show. And then also free automated accessibility audit for one website of your choosing. So we're going to be talking about digital accessibility here, and you're going to be learning why you're going to want that, and also the hour of consultation. So definitely enter to win prizes throughout the show. And I'll also be showing those in little graphics as we're talking as well. So hang on and pay attention in the conversation, but there will be things going on the screen if you're watching this on video, but of course it's repurposed to podcast too. So we'll try to be cognizant of those audio only listeners as well. But let's get right into it. So I introduced you to the prizes. Let me tell you about our sponsors who are making it all possible for us. Well, I guess I put the Secta QR code. They're not a sponsor, but I am an affiliate there. Secta does AI headshots. So if you see those AI headshots that I'm posting on my LinkedIn and Instagram, I'm getting those at Secta. This QR code gets you 20% off, and I get a little commission. If you want to try that one out, it's the best I've found. But let me show you the High Level. Okay, well, let's show you Cherry Assistant. Cherry Assistant is a sponsor tonight. And this entire year, they've been sponsoring. And I couldn't be more proud to work with them. So DJ Kim was the owner of Data Ghost before that was acquired. And you may remember they were a sponsor. And then he came back after he started Cherry Assistant, which is a VA service. So I'm so grateful to have happy sponsors of this show and to be able to send them business. So try them out. You'd be doing us both a favor. It's 10 free hours. You'll see in the ad in the intermission, their menu of service, different things you can ask for, but they help make this whole episode possible. Sabrina's here. She's with Cherry Assistant. They help place you with VAs who, basically get you what you need for whatever it is you're working on, be it video editing or repurposing graphics like you're seeing on this show. But also High Level is the other sponsor. And I'm so excited to go to the High Level Summit in October. Is anyone else going? I'll be speaking on a panel with other top affiliates. And speaking of high level affiliates, so High Level is my everything tool. It's like CRM marketing tool all in one. And it's only $97 a month, which is why once I went as a solopreneur, I used it. But you can get an extended free trial on the QR code here. So if you get on my affiliate link with the extended free trial, reach out to me. I'll help you implement automations. I want you to succeed, obviously, because every month you recur, I'll get commission on that. So I'm interested in your success. But let's get right into it. So we thank you very much to High Level and Cherry Assistant. But without further ado, let me go ahead and welcome on today's guest. Here we go. Welcome to the show, Dimitri and Mark. Thank you for being here.
Hello,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Hi, everyone.
Well, as I promised during our pre-show, Mark and Dimitri, I'm going to put up the 2-minute clock. You both get 2 minutes. And in Winsday fashion, we want to learn about the real human you. So could you please tell us your full life story from where you were born to what brought you to now and all the stuff we can't find on LinkedIn? Could you kick us off with your intro, Dimitri?
Yeah. So hi, everyone, again. I'm Dimitri. I'm thrilled to be here today. My journey started in Russia, where I was born and raised. From early age, I had a fascination with technology. One of the most transformative experiences in my life was spending almost a decade in Beijing, where I was living, studying, working. That period gave me a unique opportunity to see firsthand how the tech industry operates in one of the world's most dynamic markets. It was in Beijing where I gained a deep understanding of not only the local business environment, but also the global digital landscape. After Beijing, my career, and more like not even career, but my family brought me to Sydney, where I'm now based. I'm currently the head of sales at Hype Factory, an influencer marketing agency that partners with global brands, especially within gaming and app sectors. In my role, I oversee strategies that help our clients connect with their audiences through cutting-edge influencer marketing campaigns. We work with wide range of influencers across platforms on TikTok, on Twitch, on YouTube, using data-driven approaches to maximize the impact of every campaign. What excites me the most is the constant evolution of digital marketing industry, from the integration of AI to new trends in mobile advertising. I'm always exploring how brands can leverage the latest technologies to stay ahead. How was the gaming marketing user acquisition 10 years ago and how it's now, how advertisers can calculate their performance, why it's so different, it's changed so much. It's really fascinating. Well,
I guess that's
I'm excited to
2
share
minutes
more.
there. What was that, Dimitri?
Yeah, I'm just wanted to say that I'm excited to share more about my experiences and insights, and I'm looking forward to discussing the exciting developments that are shaping the future of digital marketing.
Awesome. And we're excited to talk about that with you here soon as well. Thank you for tuning in and being here with us. And Mark, I'm going to reset this clock
I
for
was
2
gonna say.
minutes. Could we hear your full life story and you get the full 2 minutes?
All right, good, because I was wondering about that clock, and then I was looking at it going down, and I'm like, am I going to be able to fit it all in? So, originally born in Iowa, grew up in Missouri, traveled throughout the country. So I've lived in California, Northern and Southern California for approximately 20 years. Lived in Atlanta, Georgia for about 2 years, lived in Denver, Colorado for around 2 years. And now I am living in Boise, Idaho. So I've been all over the place, but the good thing is it kind of tells you what you like and what you don't like. But my journey in of itself, I've always been design oriented. I've got 2 design degrees that I never use, except for in some occasions, but it's taught me well in crafting strategies and looking at things in different ways. during the course of my life, it doesn't look like it, but I was actually a quadriplegic on the football field. And as you can tell, for those of you who are seeing this video, I recovered and I never told anybody because I didn't want to be perceived as weak. Fast forward many years later, I was in a massive car accident where the witnesses thought we were dead and really exacerbated or made my nerve damage and spine damage even worse. And so the reason why I'm telling you this story is it kind of leads up to where I'm at today, albeit 30 years of being a serial entrepreneur myself. So CurbCut OS is focusing on digital accessibility. And for those of you that may not know, digital accessibility, there are regulations, there are compliance matters that need to be addressed. And really what it is making all our digital media accessible by everybody with any type of disability, visible or invisible. But what most people don't realize is when we do that, we also actually are improving life for everybody. For example, the name of our company, CurbCut OS, curb cuts are, there's actually something called curb cut phenomenon. And the curb cut phenomenon is anytime that something is created for people with disabilities, it actually benefits everyone. Curb cuts were originally done in the physical world to benefit people with wheelchairs and those people who couldn't step over those sharp curbs. And so here we are, fast forward today, more people use those curb cuts without disabilities than people with disabilities. Same thing goes for closed captioning. Same thing goes for when you blow up the screen on your mobile phone. And most people don't realize those are assistive technologies.
A mom myself, I use the curb little ramp, like the curb cut where your name was inspired from, you know, when I had a stroller. I have older kids now. I mean, they're not in a stroller, but we might be in the wagon or they might be in their little Gator, John Deere Gator thing, you know, and those little ramps are so helpful because, so like you said, when we help like small amount of people, like we're actually helping everyone, like with the strollers and, you know, but also wheelchairs, for example, which was the whole purpose of it in the beginning. But man, some of those curbs out there in some of these cities are really still very bad, and there's a lot of work to do there. But let's hop into our first topic with like marketing and how this gets into affecting our business. But first, let's start with influencer marketing, Dimitri. Strategies for driving apps and games with influencer marketing. So this is interesting. Can you talk to us a little bit about it?
Yeah, sure. So I will just start from a little bit, I would say, like from the history. Like I have spent 8 years in performance and user acquisition marketing prior joining Hype Factory. So at that time, I didn't know anything about influencer marketing, but I saw more and more of my clients are using influencer marketing into their user acquisition strategies. And I could hear some great results that they're getting from their influencer marketing campaigns. And I was surprised because how do you measure the result? How to make sure that the right number of downloads, that ROI is achieved? I couldn't understand this. And I started to dig in more into this. And some of my friends in the industry told me about Hype Factory, and that's how my journey started. So I would like to break in some of the data-driven insights that helps apps and games drive successful influencer marketing campaigns. So I would say, like, number one, would be choosing the right influencers. The core of successful campaign starts with finding influencers who resonate with the target demographic. It's not just about large follower count anymore. So influencer with a highly engaged niche audience often drive higher conversions, better ROI, better LTV. At Hype Factory, we utilize our AI tools to dig deeper into influencer metrics like engagement rates, audience demographics, and previous campaigns performance, ensuring that our advertisers will get the best results from the campaigns. We're working with gaming influencers on YouTube, on Twitch, on TikTok. We very often will blend it together to find just the right influencers for our campaigns.
That's really interesting. We're on Twitch right now. Could you talk to us a little bit about Twitch? Because a lot of people don't even know about Twitch. And like, if you were going to go find an influencer for Twitch, like, where would you even start?
Well, Twitch is growing rapidly, and Twitch, like we know, Twitch is the most popular streaming platform, but there's so many other ones that's also growing very fast, like Kick, like Africa TV, like many other ones, like in different markets would be. Twitch has around 30 million daily active users, and it keeps growing. So I would say Twitch doesn't work for every app or game. No, it doesn't work for every advertiser. It works well for mid-core, high-core games, so something that where user is more engaged with the game. And Twitch campaigns can actually help to achieve higher performance, because with Twitch, we can set up some live KPI. So if this KPI is achieved during the stream, then streamer will get some kind of bonus. So for example, during the stream, 100 users needs to download the game and achieve level 5 in game or something, or they need to do something. There are more and more bonuses include just time the stream that user has watched, and then it will get some kind of bonus as well. So I would say Twitch becomes more and more performance-oriented social media for gaming advertisers.
Interesting. Yeah, there are a lot of gamers on there. What about you, Mark? Have you been on Twitch, or have you? No.
I was going to look it up while we're talking.
Exactly. Not a lot of people heard of it, and most of my audience and guests are LinkedIn people. So we're talking a lot about going live on LinkedIn a lot here, but I do still go live on Twitch just because it is a big streaming platform. But there's just like once in a while a little pocket of like sales and marketing interested people on that platform. But yeah, I need to learn how to grow there. I just, hasn't been my focus, but love to hear from the audience about Twitch as well. But I don't know, anything that you might add or, expand on what Dimitri was talking about in terms of influencer marketing, Mark, before we move on?
Oh, I'm not the expert like Dimitri, so I don't want to butcher anything.
Yeah, like any reactions to like what he was saying?
Influencer marketing, I think it is something that needs to be addressed. As far as how it's addressed, when it's addressed, where it's addressed, I think those are all key components, because you just can't, or as I like to say, you can't take a shotgun and get the results that you want. You have to take out a rifle.
For sure. Yeah, great point. Well, since you're pretty much already there full screen, let's transition to a topic I've been looking forward to talking about. We were talking a little bit about the curb cut appeal or curb appeal, or what the name of it is, but I benefited from it myself using strollers. But like making the digital world usable for all. There's things we could be doing as marketers online, as influencers online, to make sure that we're more accessible to everyone. And sort of like you said, when we're making it more accessible, it benefits everyone. So I think of like the audio transcriptions on video. And I'm sure there are so many more things we could do digitally, but could you kick us off on this topic, Mark?
Wow, yeah, there's a lot to unpack on this topic, but I think there's a key point to all of this is, all the digital media or assets that are out there now If you look at them, there's ways to work on this. This isn't 100% and I'm done. This isn't, oh, I've done an audit and I've done some remediation, I'm done. This is a new way of thinking on how you address things. For example, color contrast, button sizes, alt text around graphics and images. And I think the key point here is, yes, this is for people with disabilities of varying degrees, but at the same time, I'll bring up closed captioning. And younger generations are starting now to use closed captioning more than actually listening and watching the movies. So if you think about it like that, anytime there is a description of an image or there's a description of a graphic, if you're not paying attention and you roll over it and you have the technology or the assistive technology, it's going to read it out to you. So there's a different usability that comes with this. But I think more important with making the digital world usable for all is, let's understand a couple facts, because here's what we're faced with. Show me a website that's accessible and one that isn't. And the response that we have is there isn't. And we always get people to look at us kind of odd, because I think what a lot of people are used to seeing is what's called an overlay, which is the little blue man or woman that's in the corner. There's a little round dot, and that's what's called an overlay. Those overlays are band-aids to the problem. They don't fix the problem, and they cause more problems in many cases. While small businesses, many of them don't have the option to really go in and do code level auditing remediation, overlays can be utilized, but there's different ways to go about this as well. And I think it's also important to note this market isn't small. It's 1.85 billion people globally. We live in a global world. E-commerce is in a global world. And mentioning e-commerce, $6.9 billion was lost alone just to people who were blind that left shopping carts. So if we look at those statistics and then we look at ways to where even if you make incremental advancements in your colors, in your alt text and graphics and images, use of header tags, so people with assistive technologies can use your website or your app. Those things are beneficial, and it gets you going down the path to where now you get used to it. Now you understand, look, this isn't do it all at once. This is, let's do building blocks over a period of time.
Great points. There's so much to tackle there. And I think it's so fascinating. And I think anyone who can make it easier for brands to be more accessible is in a good position. But Dimitri, what's your reaction to all of this?
I would say definitely very interesting. Some things that I haven't thought about before, for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark, for bringing this up.
For sure. Yeah, we don't think about it in our everyday lives, right? Accessibility and digital marketing, but there's so much we can and legally even should be doing, I'm pretty sure, to make sure that we're compliant for everyone. But talk to us a little bit more about accessibility, Mark, because this is kind of a newer topic. So if you're a small business or a startup, where do you even begin?
Well, that's a good point. There is a saying that you don't make a blueberry muffin by cooking it first and then adding the blueberries later. And so if you look at this and you're a small business and you're just getting started, is look at it from the onset. It's a lot cheaper, significantly cheaper, to look at this from the very beginning. And that could be as simple as what website template app am I using? Is it accessible? Do they have accessibility features? And if they don't, is it easy to work with to make it more accessible? Again, it's not 100% game. But, starting out with that mindset, it keeps you in a proactive versus a reactive approach, and it will save you money and then also open you up to the opportunity, because this isn't just a compliance checkbox. This is actually a massive opportunity that people are ignoring. And the market at large, just of the disability population, is $1.2 trillion. Now, if you look at the market beyond them, which includes people who either know somebody or is related to or a sibling of someone with a disability, that market expands out to $13 trillion. These are all cited by credible resources and research institutions. For example, McKinsey is one of those research institutions that has generated these numbers. So there's a lot that you can gain. And in fact, even looking at, digital accessibility or accessible products, at large, there's a whole market there that's widely untapped as well. So hopefully that answers some of your questions, Jesse.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot there. So we've got some good comments. Jeremy, I appreciate your engagement here. So he's thinking about this in terms of influencer marketing. I watch a lot of videos by influencers where the video has no words being spoken and no text in the post that illustrate the point of their video. They lose me as a blind person because I can't connect with what they want me to connect with. Oh, that's so interesting, Jeremy. And he continues, taking it a step further. Many people get things or learn better when they hear something. So if we make the video both visual and audible, we increase the ability to connect with the viewer viscerally. Am I saying that correctly? As well. Like, so yeah, that's such a great point. Like I am not blind or deaf, but man, it is so helpful when I'm learning, because learning is already really hard, and absorbing information, it's already, you have to try. So if I can have it visually and audibly, it's so helpful.
Hitting all the senses implants itself a lot easier than just one.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, man, this is such an interesting topic. If y'all could keep plugging in the comments on it throughout the show, because you know what? We actually haven't talked about digital accessibility on this show, and it is a very important topic. So please just put your questions, your comments, your thoughts, your ideas, your opinions in the chat, and also make sure you're entering to win prizes. And then we're going to get into our third topic, which is innovative approaches in mobile marketing. So curious if anyone in the audience has thoughts on mobile marketing and accessibility. But as you're thinking about that, we'll break for a few messages from our sponsors, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Check these emails. Wait, I need to write the script. Oh my god, I forgot to schedule all my content last week.
I know the chaos of running a one-person business can feel too much sometimes. Cherry Assistant has become my secret weapon to success. Having an actual niche assistant has been so game-changing. But since bringing on one of their virtual assistants, they have been handling all my nitty-gritty tasks, from DMing people on my socials to following up with leads, even doing the cold outreach for me. Plus, to help with all the tedious admin tasks like managing emails, scheduling appointments, reminding me of appointments. Just imagine the time that you're going to have when you have an actual niche virtual assistant helping you with all these things. So with Cherry Assistant, you're never going to have to worry about the little things again. You get on a call with them. That way they can actually gauge your business needs, and they're going to help you fill the gaps. You go to cherrysystem.com, you can get on a call with one of them, and they're going to help you find your person. Now you can actually finally free up some time to focus on building your empire.
So we don't have anything reading this here, but right now it's showing a menu of services. So market research, financial data entry, and there's more: lead generation, CRM management, prospecting, assistance, sales presentation preparation, data entry, customer report, and so much more. You can use that QR code to check out Cherry Assistant.
I want to show you how to do a voicemail drop. And voicemail drops can be really creative ways to reach your audience. And, many of us are spending a lot of time on the phone making calls, but hey, I'm here over in marketing to report that you can do a mass voicemail drop, and let me show you how. me log into my account here, Reveting. The hard part about any campaign is knowing your audience and knowing what you're going to say to them. Yeah, definitely check out Lead Magic if you haven't already. So what I love about Lead Magic is their lead scraper. You can see that right here. Also, another thing are the technographics. Then import that into High Level. So High Level for me, it's white labeled, it's app.reveting.com. So when you go in here, you're going to want to, you can get your contacts in here however you want, with the ones that you want to do the voicemail drop with. Once you know who you're sending your voicemail drop to, create a new workflow from scratch. And you can add in your trigger, which would be the tag that you add. For me, and for this example, I'll go ahead and say tag added, and it will be anyone who downloads my free LinkedIn 5-day challenge workbook that's on my LinkedIn page. And if you get that, we'll go ahead and wait just for a minute, save action, and then we're going to do voicemail. All right, so now I need to get a voicemail and I need an audio file. And luckily I have this just like free online tool. You can go to 123 apps or online-voice-recorder.com. You can see it on the screen. And I am just going to record a voicemail. Hey, it's Jessie Lezak. Wanted to follow up with you about the 5-day challenge workbook and course that you downloaded and see what you thought of it, if you've had a chance to complete it, and how I can support you on your journey to LinkedIn growth. Give me a call back anytime. My cell phone number is 510-335-9355. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. We'll move this in a little bit. Move that in just a tad. Save. Open so I can't see. So here is my recording. There it is. It's loading. Hey, it's Jessie Lezak. Wanted to follow up with you about the 5-day challenge workbook and course that you did. And that's how people will get into the voicemail drop. And I think you should try a voicemail drop too. And if you would like some support on that, I would love to help you. Just give me a call. You already heard my number in the recording, 510-335-9355, or you can email me at Jessie, just my first name, JESSIE @reveting.com. That's REVETING.com. Hope to help you with your voicemail drop here soon. All right, and back to our hot topics, which, by the way, High Level does way more than a voicemail drop. There's some really cool automations you can set up, and I encourage everyone to dig into it. Try the free trial. Reveting.com/high level will take you there. Even if you just visit the page, it helps me. But let's get into this third topic. So, innovative approaches in mobile marketing. And as Dimitri kicks this off, I'm hoping to hand it back over to you, Mark, and ask about what we can be doing in mobile marketing for more accessibility as well. But Dimitri, could you take us with innovative approaches in mobile marketing and kick us off?
Yeah, thank you, Jesse. There are so many of trends in mobile, new trends in mobile marketing coming now, but I would like to mention a few. One of them would be shift towards community building. Games are no longer just standalone products. They're like ecosystems where players can engage with content creators and connect with fellow gamers. For instance, influencers on platforms like Reddit or Discord can create dedicated gaming servers or subreddit communities where players can interact with each other and influencers. This is definitely helps to create much deeper engagement with the game. Influencers will host some game nights, share exclusive content, or offer some early access to new game features. Yeah, in fact, many top performing games that you definitely heard about, like, for example, Fortnite, they rely heavily on influencers, keep their communities active long after initial launch. They work closely with influencers, not just for one-off campaigns, but for ongoing events, creating a constant stream of new content that keeps the player base engaged. Also, I would say like geographically, the mobile marketing is also growing. Emerging markets like MENA or LATAM are showing the fastest growth in mobile marketing. With rising user bases, but still lower market value compared to North America or APAC. Localizing content and tapping into local influencers on platforms like TikTok or some emerging live streaming platforms like Kiko Africa TV can unlock huge potential in these regions because not so much competitions. There's not so much competition now, and if you go there first, you will get a lot more users, a lot more players. Also, for the future trends in mobile marketing, I would say that we'll likely see increased use of artificial intelligence, AR, virtual influencers, AI-driven content. So the budget on influencer marketing keep increasing every year. So I do believe that there will be
influencer marketing is becoming a big deal, even in B2B.
Yeah.
Do you primarily work with B2C?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I'm curious on your end, Mark, in terms of mobile marketing, how can we be more accessible?
Well, I think it's part of it's the platform that's used, and have features like alt text, captions, transcripts. Make sure it's optimized for all the different screen sizes of phones, which I think is pretty much standard in responsive design. Speeding up the site as much as possible. Writing content that can be read quickly. Focus on, mobile-friendly emails, and then announcing promotions or anything of the such via text. And I think hitting, once again here too, is hitting all the senses, audio, visual. What am I missing? I'm missing something.
Yeah, someone
Audio?
tell us in the comments, what did we miss? Audio, visual. But that's
Oh,
good.
I'm
The size
missing
of the text. What do you think is like talk to us about the size of the text a little bit. That's sort of universal, B2B, B2C, everything. Like, what can we do as marketers to be cognizant of the size of the text?
I think on the mobile side, I don't foresee it as big of a problem because you can increase your screen size. However, I think in having the ability to choose, so for example, if someone's losing their vision, right? Then being able to choose which size they want, or just expanding it with the ability to expand the screen as we already do as many times with images and things like that. I think that's pretty much it from. That's it. Jeremy got it. See it, hear it, feel it.
Feel it. Yeah, exactly. Good point. So, Dimitri, on this topic, could you sort of wrap us up on innovative approaches in mobile marketing?
Yeah, so I definitely, as I mentioned before, see a lot more shift towards a lot more budgets going towards influencer marketing from standard PPC campaigns and user acquisition channels. It would be important to mention that the mobile marketing went through a big wave of different fraud activities. So there've been a period of time when maybe like 60-70% of installs that Apple game was buying would be fraud. And that's what we're not seeing on this influencer marketing so far. So it's a lot easier to stay away from fraud on influencer marketing, but in performance marketing, it still exists. Even the big check-in companies like AppsFlyer, like Adjust, they keep fighting it and they're finding the new ways. But in industry changing and the new ways to sell advertisers fraud as some real users when it's just fake ones.
Such a great point. Well, that wraps us up on that topic. If anyone in the audience has any comments, keep us honest. He says visually, verbally, and viscerally, they feel it and they get it. Thank you, Jeremy. Yeah, I love this convo too. But I want to move us into our fourth topic. And audience, that doesn't mean you can't keep talking about, anything we've been talking about this whole time, influencer marketing, Twitch, accessibility. Keep us honest from the comments. Let us know what you want to talk about. Ask your questions. We've got 18 more minutes. Make sure you're entering to win those prizes. I'll keep showing them on the screen, but let's ask you, Mark, can you lead us in our fourth topic? Massive yet overlooked expansion and brand enhancement.
Yeah, so I think, I've brought up some key statistics that are impactful, and that basically talks about market expansion. All businesses are always looking for new market opportunities. And this one, I like to call it's a softball sitting right in front of everybody, but no one's there to take the bat out and hit it because no one's understanding, and they think it's such a tiny market and it doesn't matter to them, when the exact opposite is true. What people don't realize is most people, the majority of the population that ends up with a disability aren't born with it. It incurs throughout the course of their life. So what then is impacting them is impacting the business world as well, because look, if their vision is lost, their hearing is lost, they still want to participate. They still want to buy. They're still an active consumer. However, the digital world is turning their back to them. And so what ends up happening is people get irritated and people tune out. And so there's many studies to that point. And there's another study, the population is aging, birth rates are declining, the aging population continues to increase. And so we look at this, and there's a lot of disposable income just in the aging population alone. But the other part to this expansion too that people don't think about is people with chronic disease. Many chronic disease end up with a disability of some sort, whether it's visible or invisible. And then also part of that expansion, I would bet anyone listening has sat next to somebody and either done something with somebody and not realized they had a disability. Because 1/4 or 25% of the population has a disability. So when you start adding all these numbers together, it's sitting right here in front of you. And really the efforts to go after that market, it starts with day one. Once you start doing something about it, that matters. And then the brand enhancement. We look at, there's a massive generational issue with this, is you start looking at younger generations and you say digital accessibility, and many times you don't even have to bring it up. They're the ones that saying, well, what are you doing about it? And so when we look at this, it's not, it's taboo, we can't talk about it. No, this is something you need to wear as a badge of honor and say, look, I am actively engaged and working on making my digital media accessible, and really touting that and tooting that horn, really, when it comes down to it. And the generations will pick up on this. And more generations, more and more people want to do business with companies that are taking this into consideration. And so if you look at that, it has massive impacts on brand value. And then the expansion opportunities are, as you can tell, massive, but yet widely misunderstood.
Such a great point. Man, we've gotten some great comments. So let's get back to Mark, or I'm sorry, to Jeremy's. Jeremy asked, Mark, how do you help educate the people who say, I have to focus on my clients, and most of my clients don't have a disability like you? Seriously, this has been said to me by companies trying to sell me solutions that aren't even accessible to me as a user. Laugh out loud.
Well, I'll give you an example. If you looked at me, you wouldn't know I had a disability. I live in chronic pain. So if I walked into the bike store and I had to modify a bike, I ended up buying over $1,000 mountain bike. But so would they have turned away from me if I couldn't hear them, if I couldn't see them, or if I had a cognitive issue? They'd just lost a sale if they did that. So when people who or companies say, well, you're not my target audience, then I think they need to better understand their target audience, because their target audience isn't defined by those with disabilities and those without disabilities. Their target audience is defined by demographics, psychographics, and it shouldn't matter if they have a disability or not.
It shouldn't matter. You're right. What's your take on all this, Dimitri?
That's really fascinating to me, and some stuff that I think majority of the marketers never think about, but I think that's what we definitely need to pay attention for, because
Yeah.
there are a lot more people with disabilities than we really think about. But
Yeah.
it's very important for us to think about them.
Absolutely. And it helps us with revenue, and Jeremy responded back, Mark, he says, I love that approach. Many times people can't tell in a video chat whether I can see or not. I love it.
Yeah.
So such an interesting thing. We don't know who is dealing with what. So just be kind, be a good digital marketer, and make your websites accessible, your content accessible, your events accessible. But man, in terms of massive yet overlooked expansion versus brand enhancement, Mark, is there anything you'd want to wrap us up on?
No, I think, now is the time to embrace this, because I'm not just speaking on behalf of the company, I'm speaking on behalf of the population, on behalf of the generations, on behalf of everyone, because from a new market opportunity to revenue opportunity is, like I said earlier, it's a softball. It's a matter of, it doesn't have to cost you a lot to do it, but you got to start making steps to embrace it, and then really tout it out there and tell people, look, I'm doing this. I'm not just all talk and no do. I'm doing this, and market to people with disabilities, because you have no idea where those people will come from. And because those people, and look, I'm saying those people, but it's not this segment, is they're all walks of life. But I'll leave you with this statistic is, if you look at, there's another statistic out there. You take people with disabilities, including friends, relatives, and siblings, 82% of that in aggregate would spend more with a company who is making an effort and doing something about digital accessibility.
Yeah. What a great point, Mark. And we're getting another really great comment from Jeremy, who says, what if we phrase it as we are giving everyone the abilities they need to access everything they want and purchase from who they want? I think that's a really great way to put that, Jeremy. Thank you for summarizing that. And thank you, Mark, for talking us through all this. But keep the conversation going in the comments. We want to hear from you on this. We still have both Mark and Dimitri here talking about influencer marketing and also accessibility, and being a good, sales or marketing professional out there who is just considering all ways for everyone, right? So love this conversation. Thank you so much to both of you for putting that out there. But let's get into the guru of the week. Ooh, I hit my mic on the computer. The guru of the week. Ooh, ooh. So I'm going to do the little drum roll. So, of course, the guru of the week is someone we ask the guests to share new names for people to go follow. Otherwise, your LinkedIn feed gets so stale. So, I'm going to pull myself out here, put the two gurus of the week on the screen, and encourage the audience to go follow them. And of course, continue to enter to win prizes because we're going to be giving those away here next. But I'm going to pull myself out and put the gurus up.
I think it's
Yep, remember I pull myself
it
out
should
during
be
this time.
the
You guys get to feed off each other. Do I have the gurus correct?
You got them so opposite.
Ah, there you go. Okay, so tell us why we
There
should
it
go
is.
follow these people.
Yeah. Okay. Should I start? Yep. Yeah. I would like to recommend to follow Eric. Eric is a leading expert in mobile marketing and app growth. He runs Mobile Dev Memo, where he shares valuable insights on user acquisition, monetization, and the impact of industry changes like IDFA. He has a very clear but also data-driven analysis, which help people who are even out of the industry to understand what's happening with mobile marketing. So I definitely recommend everybody to follow Eric to know more about mobile and app marketing.
Okay, so my turn. So Jeremy Grandstaff. As many of you have probably seen, Jeremy doesn't hold his words back. Jeremy is an amazing person. Jeremy is blind, but if you ever worked with him, you wouldn't really know it, which is fascinating to me because the way Jeremy can interact with you, and it really will wake you up quickly to realize that just because someone has a disability doesn't mean they're disadvantaged and they want to enjoy life just as much. And Jeremy also brings a very large depth and breadth of business experience, how to approach the market, and I don't know what else to say, but other than Jeremy is somebody you should get to know.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Go follow Jeremy and Eric to get some new people in your feed. And thank you both, Mark and Dimitri, for sharing and telling us about why we should go follow these new people. And now it is time to give away the prizes. So we've got, let's see, 2 entries on high level, 4 on Cherry Assistant. We don't have any on headset. We don't have any on hashtag email, which is 1 year free of Lavender. We don't have any on personal branding, and we don't have any on hashtag revenue. So before we get into this, I need to ask both of you, if people put hashtag revenue into the comments, could you tell them a little bit about what they would be getting from you? And Dimitri, I'll pull you up first along with the picture of the prize. Could you tell us what they'll be getting? 1 hour consultation session on influencer mobile marketing strategies. What would that include?
I think it's a little bit. Okay, now it's loaded up. Yeah, it will be 1 hour consultation session on influencer or mobile marketing strategies. Whatever you choose.
Okay, awesome. And Mark, tell us a little bit about the free automated accessibility audit for one website of your choosing.
So yeah, automated, we have a very unique approach to our automated accessibility audit. And that comes from us being in the industry since 2019. And so getting that one automated, accessibility audit will show you really, what you're dealing with And then it's not a scare tactic. It's one of those, okay, here's the issues or barriers that you're dealing with. And then you can figure out from there how then you want to go about addressing the remediation aspects of that, regardless of what your budget is. As long as you're just making those steps, that's what matters.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for giving these away. And we did get one entry. It looks like Randy Sue Deckard will be the winner on hashtag revenue if no one else enters. But let's go ahead and give away these prizes. So let me share my screen and I'm going to pull up prize one, which is high level swag pack. Oh, okay. It looks like somehow me or Reveting were the ones that entered on that. So were we entering for you on that one, Jeremy? Do you want the swag pack? Because we will send it your way. We'll follow up with you after the chat. And let me go ahead and do prize two, which is Cherry Assistant. And there are 4 on here. I think I was trying to help enter for Jeremy on this one as well. So Jeremy, you're the winner because Sabrina is the Cherry Assistant VA. I think she was also trying to support you. So anything that went under me is for you, Jeremy. You are the winner on the free virtual assistant service. You're going to love it. And let's see. Let's go ahead and for the rest of them, where there's only one entry, we're going to follow up with you after the show. So that's you, Randy Deckard, on hashtag revenue. So congratulations on winning those prizes from our guests. We'll connect you via email. Yay! But as we wrap up, could both of you tell the audience how they could reach you after the show and also maybe like why they might want to reach you? So who is your audience? Exactly how do you help them? And where would they reach you if they wanted to reach out to you, Dimitri?
Definitely will be able to reach me via LinkedIn. I'm easily accessible there. If you want to talk about mobile marketing, influencer marketing, if you have some questions about user acquisition, if you just maybe you are just an indie developer and you want to understand how to grow your app or game, I might be able to help. I might share some insights so you know where to get started. Or if you just want to chat about life in China, about my experience there, I also very keen to talk about this.
China, interesting. Well, Randy Sue Deckard, well, maybe you can get into that with him and anyone else who wants to reach out. But also, Mark, could you do the same? Like, who is your audience primarily and how do you help them exactly? And if they fit that mold, how could they reach you?
Hey, I gotta say real quick though to Dimitri, I've been to China several times, so you caught me at hello when you said China. Always found it fascinating. But as far as Curb Cut OS goes, you can reach me on LinkedIn. You can go to our website, which is curbcutos.com, and those probably would be the best avenues. Where we focus, or who is our ideal customer? Well, we have solutions that range from small businesses all the way up to enterprise, and we take a very unique approach in that we take an unbiased approach. A lot more we can unpack on that one just alone, but our objective is get you on the right course, regardless of what your budget is, and figure out what we can do and how we can work together and develop a relationship. It's not just a transaction, it's an ongoing relationship that never ends, and then help educate you along the way.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, both of you. Thank you so much for coming on. Audience, thank you for tuning in. And next week, we hope that you will come back. We have another great episode planned. You will be seeing Lauren Bain and Kyle Harder. We're going to be talking about some more hot topics and giving away some more hot prizes. So until then, we will see you next week.